Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. Thanks so much for popping in. We just have another day or two before Thanksgiving. I can't believe it. If you're new to IFYL, do me a favor, grab your smartphone and just launch that camera app on there and point over the QR code like so. When you see the yellow oval, just touch it. And in less than a couple seconds, that will ping you over to my link tree. Lots of great stuff on there. John's Daily National Day video, JCM Academy TikTok, John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur, Inspirations for Your Life, this show, J Moore Tech Talk, John the Science Guy. There's so much stuff there. All right. You know how we roll. Every week we start on a Saturday. We roll all the way through the week and we finish up on a Friday with a new master topic. We have a great one this week, but before I get into that, I want to share with you guys a bit of thanks. And I want to thank my friends, colleagues, and wonderful associates who've been supporting me for a very long time. And next month, we're going to be celebrating IFYL. It's going to turn one, and we're going to have a cake on camera. So that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely want to take a look at that. And, so much to be thankful and grateful for, as Thanksgiving is less than 48 hours or roughly away. And I want to tell you that the most important thing for Thanksgiving, my ask for you, is that this Thanksgiving, I know everybody's busy and they always want to have their heads stuck so far in their technology because that's just how they are and they're not social. I want you to make a commitment this year to put your technology, you don't have to leave it home, but turn it off, put it on vibe for at least the time that you're sitting at the dinner table. Unplug from technology and plug into your family and friends. I mean, I think that is the most important message I can share with you, because taking time to be grateful and to share those stories and to really encapsulate life, because so many people miss that opportunity. Life is so precious. So make the choice to do that. And if you have a chance, go to my LinkedIn page and definitely vote. I'd love you to vote. Vote for what you guys do during Thanksgiving, because I think that would be pretty cool. And if you don't know how to get there, you can just go to John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur. It's also on my page there, but it is actually a link that you can click on, and you can vote. It's right there in my link tree, so you can click right on that as well. You'll see it in there. You can click right on the link tree and get to it. So I think that'll be really, really cool if you guys would do that and share. And when you click into the group, you're actually going to see that it just says my link. Just click on it, and it'll actually take you back to the original post, which is actually the vote. Currently, I have 4 votes, and 115 people have read the caption, "Hi, everyone. I have a favor to ask." And it starts out by saying, please make the choice this Thanksgiving 2022 and unplug yourself from technology and plug into your family. All right, so let's get into the master topic. I know you guys have been waiting very, very patiently. And, starting tomorrow, I'll be broadcasting from Florida because I'm actually leaving tonight. Actually, tomorrow for Florida. So I'll have the rest of the show in Florida. But, I want to share with you that tonight's going to be pretty cool, because we're talking about how to create balance in your life. There's a lot of things were balanced. We talked about the balance of accounting. We talked about the balance of chemistry. Okay. And so when we think about balance, right, you're probably saying to me, John, what are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? So we have a balance that has to do with chemistry, the equations. We have a balance that has to do with accounting. Okay. And I think when you can embrace the fact that our life is full of balance, I think that's just so very, very cool. Then we talked about how do we balance our bodies as human. We talked about the equilibrium and the gyroscope type activity in our inner ear. So that was really cool. So tonight we're going to talk about balance in the body, in our ability to lose weight and maintain weight. So the way our body works is we take in food, okay, drinks, etc. And as we take that in, we will burn the carbs off from that food. If we eat too much food, that food actually turns into fat. So if we've gone that far, then we need to understand that before we can burn our fat, we have to burn our carbs. So if we're eating too much, I'm just going to use a very simple example here in math. I'm just going to use the number of 2,000, all right? That number 2,000, let's say, might be your calories. So let's say you had to eat a minimum of 1,200 or 1,400. I'm just giving you an example. This is not exactly for you. And so when we stay in balance with the minimum amount of calories we eat, guess what happens? We will not gain weight. If we come down a little bit, then we start to lose weight. And then we can do exercising and things like that. But I think the big challenge is people get confused with the word balance, and balance of weight loss, balance of carbs, balance of fat. And there's another balance. Most people think that you're supposed to eat and you're supposed to be burning fat all the time. You're not. You're supposed to move back and forth between almost matriculating from burning carbs, burning fat, burning carbs, burning fat. When you wake up in the morning, you should be burning fat. Okay? Later in the day, you should start to burn some carbs. So when I refer to matriculating in, I'm talking about you being enrolled in not a university credit, but you being enrolled in a process. Okay. And so when we understand that if I eat X amount of carbs or calories, when my body starts to burn them off, the body's now going to go to my stomach or to my body, my fat on the body, and burn the fat. So once you can appreciate the fact that everything in life is a balance. Now, I know sometimes it can get extremely frustrating because you're like, I want to get this done. And, for the longest time, many of you guys don't know the story, but I was 250 pounds. And back when I was in college, I was 165. I fired 7 trainers. They were just horrible. They were terrible. They were egotistical. They just had this attitude. And I decided to get serious about becoming in balance with my weight. And when I did that, I started to understand how weight gain worked, how weight loss worked. And so understanding that there's a balance. So like I'm telling you right now, there is a balance to weight loss. Taking only so much food, eating from certain food groups. Does balance have to do with weight? So body weight decreases, the center of our gravity will change, which means that as we are using this to hold our body in balance, which is different, the weight loss is rapid and it takes time for the nervous system to catch up. So, which means, again, how you are used to holding your body in balance is different when weight loss is rapid. It takes time for the nervous system to catch up. The most important part about burning carbs and fat is calorie balance. It's the most important thing you'll learn. And so if you are gaining weight, you are eating more calories than your body's using. It's a simple math formula. Calories play a big role in controlling your weight. So, what diet is the most balanced? Well, you can do low carbs, you can do Mediterranean, you can do paleo, you can do vegan, you can do gluten. I do the low carbs. And so, like for example, today for lunch, I basically had something pretty cool. I had the miso soup, and then in addition to having the miso soup, um, I was able to understand, what's going on, and really enjoy and embrace that soup. And then I had my hibachi steak with hibachi rice, and it went pretty well. And I think it's pretty cool how this is all working. I know that you're probably saying to me, John, this is a little bit challenging. I get that. I get that. So I know that you're probably saying to me, hey, John, this doesn't make a lot of sense. But it really does. It's just that you can't expect it to happen overnight. You can't expect it to happen overnight. And so a lot of people think it's going to happen overnight, but it doesn't. Think about that for a minute. Just think about what that means. What does that mean to you? It means that people oftentimes get off balance because they get impatient. Have you ever tried to ride a bicycle and you fall down? Has it ever happened to you? If you were to get on a bicycle and you didn't know how to get in balance, then you might fall. You might fall. That make sense? You might fall because you don't necessarily know your proprioception. Now, I know it's a big word, but basically all that means is that your body's senses don't know how to perceive where you are in alignment to the world. So, let me give an example. You're on a bike and you've never balanced before on the bike. As you're getting on, your body's like trying to figure out like how does it put it together? How do you use the legs? Like how do you create that movement to cause the balance? Like if you go swimming, right? And you're not able to, let's say, swim, so you can tread water, and that balance will keep you in sight. And so balance is something that everything in our life uses. Humans use it, animals use it, objects use it. But when we truly appreciate a balance, we start to see something. We start to experience, at first small, little bits of success. So success happens when we are in congruence with the environment we're in. However, everybody's like, I can't do this because this isn't working well for me. Think about that for a moment. Think about your life right now if you weren't in balance. Think about what it would be like. I know we talked about the body yesterday, but if you were not in balance, okay, balance helps us to breathe properly. So we're not just talking about balance like, staying up, because everybody say, well, that's my balance, don't lose your balance. That's one part of balance. Balance means that a state or a system is equally weighted or equal forces on each side. If we were to take two scales and I was to put down 5 pounds of bricks on this scale, okay? But before I did that, I took the bricks off the scale and I took a plate that had 2 pounds on it. I put it on the scale and then I hit the clear button, the tare. So now it's at 0. Now I start putting on the 10 pounds of bricks. On the right, I put that plate on there. But now I start putting the 10 pounds of bricks, but I don't clear it. It's going to be out of balance because the tare is off. So when something is in balance, it's in congruence. And when something's in congruence, we're in alignment, we're in harmony with the universe. And what I found with my many years of doing this, the more that we become attuned to harmony, the more that life just sort of flows. Now, that's so hard to explain. But I said to you, the more that we're in harmony, the more that things are going to flow. So how the heck does that work, John? Well, it works because everything has a flow. So a balance is something that we as people are trying to ascertain. Sometimes, have you ever seen a juggler before? All right. And the juggler has no clue what he's doing. And he's trying to throw all these things in the air, right? That's what people say, you got too many bottles in the air, too many balls in the air. And so it means that you got too many things you're trying to focus on. And you haven't figured out how to focus on one. How can you start juggling 2 balls if you can't even juggle one? And if you juggle 2, how can you juggle 3 if you can't juggle 2 well? Then you juggle 3 well, now I can do 4. So you first have to build the muscle. That's right. The muscle of becoming into balance. So what you're saying, John, is that when I become balanced, it's a skill. Exactly. So when your body or whatever system you're using is in balance, it becomes optimized. It becomes stable. And then when it becomes very stable, it's at its peak. And it's able to perform with a great level of efficiency and the lowest amount of cost, if there is a cost. So being in balance, this is why I love balance so much. Balance is a way that we can understand how our life should be. Now, if you said to me, John, I'm trying to get sales. Now, this isn't about sales tonight, but I'm trying to get sales. So the first thing I would ask you is, well, what are you doing? Is your attitude toward getting new clients balanced, okay, with the attitude and efforts you put forward? So again, you have your attitude of what you believe, but then you have the attitude of what you're doing. So is your performance equal? And just like we talked about the factor and the product of chemistry, they have to balance. So if you have a great attitude, but you have zero action, then you're in out of balance. And that's why you're never going to make a sale, because your actions need to be in congruence or in alignment with what we're talking about. Now, my last story I want to share with you is fishing. And for those of you that haven't read my latest article, please definitely go read it. My articles are free. You can go to believemeachieve.com. There's a great article that I just released earlier today. And the title is really cool. It's called Social Media Commenting Etiquette. And so I bring this to your attention for two reasons. One, etiquette is very important. If you have the premise of doing something, you don't have etiquette, it falls apart. So I bring this up to you because I wrote in there an example about how somebody made a post. I made a fictitious post about how to go fishing, how, 10 best ways to catch fish. And so an appropriate comment to that post would be, hey, Mike, listen, I go fishing with my friends all the time. What do you recommend I use for bass? And he might have said, gee, that's great. Or the article person, I think I said, the guy who had a store who actually made the post, let's just say. And his father and him opened up a bait and tackle store because they wanted to educate other people about how to go fishing. I just made this up. And so an appropriate post would be, that's great, you're in business, congratulations. Or how would I do this? Now, a non-appropriate post would be, hey, so after you're finished fishing, you should reach out to me because I can help you save money. Or you should reach out to me because I can help you find the home of your dreams. No good. Or you really should talk to me because I can help you with your home and get any kind of improvement you need done, small or large. No good. They're not in alignment. They're not in balance with the main topic, which was about 10 better ways to go fishing. Now, let's suppose you own a store and you want to post this about the fact that you have a business with your father or your brother, your cousin, or your significant other. And so it's kind of related, but you want to make sure that it's well received. So you can message the person back and say, hey, Mike, listen, my friend Joe and I have a business that's different than fishing. I was wondering if it would be okay to share that here. The fact that you did that is going to build respect between you and that other person. And they may say, hey, Mike, hey, Mike, hey, Joe. Yeah, sure. Feel free to include their information and feel free to put a website link about it. The person goes back and says, thank you so much for letting me post this. My name is Chris and my best friend is Todd. And we opened up a fitness spa. And so we did this because we were tired of all the people that were abusing myself and other people, and we weren't losing weight. I'm just making this up. And so if anybody has questions about how to lose weight, reach out to me. Not salesy. But you see how I got permission to do that? A lot of people, I'll give you an example, another one. I made this post about, a true post about street lamps. And it's another good post you want to read, which is that street lamps are going to be phased out. You're going to have to read my article to figure out what's going to happen next. So anyway, at the bottom of the post, he tags and he says, oh, and I do all kinds of amazing, wonderful social media. Reach out to me. And first thing I did was I deleted the post and I'm like, dude, how are you adding value to my post? You're not being respectful and you're being a jerk. If they come back to you and say, oh, you're right, I'm sorry. Okay, it happens. Please just don't do it again. If they still come back and say, well, it's a free country, block. You see, I think everybody should be given a chance. And so if somebody comes off with a jerk move and it's not intentional, could happen just because of something they're doing. But if they then do it again and they know they're being a jerk, then it's block time. I had a guy who I didn't go to school with, but he is an alumni of my school as well. And he reached out to me. I didn't know the person, but because he was from my school and he said, can we connect? Because, we're alumni. I said, yeah, sure, we're alumni. Why not? So about a week later, he reaches out to me and he says, can you do me a favor? And I said, I'll be happy to answer a quick question for you. And he comes back to me and he says, gee, I'm in the such and such marketing coaching business too. And I was wondering, we do all kinds of coaching and helping coaches get to different levels. And, I was wondering if we can help you. And if you know of any people. And I'm like, dude, you don't make me sorry that I accepted your connection request, because you're now being a jerk. You're now selling to me. We're supposed to be helping each other. He didn't say anything, and he kind of went away. I kept the connection, but if he does that again, I'm going to break it. So some people don't mean to be jerks, but they are. So what is a jerk? A jerk is somebody that does something intentionally to be disrespectful. A jerk is somebody who does something to get a greater benefit for themselves without caring about me or you or anyone. They just care about themselves. A jerk is someone that's going to do something and have to hide their face because they could go to jail, they could be in trouble if people know that I did it. That's a jerk. That's a jerk mentality. And so I always say a person is not a jerk. The actions or the attitude is being a jerk. So I'm like, hey, stop being a jerk. I'm not a jerk. No, you're not a jerk. You're acting like a jerk. The behavior, your listening behavior is a jerk. So when somebody's in balance, things just sort of flow. I hope you guys really enjoyed tonight. I love balance. I've got a lot more to share with you. And we're coming up to Thanksgiving very, very soon. But definitely check out Believe Me Achieve. I would really appreciate if you would do that. Check out some of the really cool articles. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Comment below. Is this resonating with you? Do you get a clear picture of it? Are you getting a sense of what balance means? It's not just whether you're going to be, sitting on a chair or off a bike. It's not just that. It's a lot more. It has to do with how well things go through an ebb and a flow. When we're in balance, a flow becomes natural without us even being conscious of it. Tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure to go to my YouTube channel, John Space, E Space, Morley, Y Space, Serial Entrepreneur, and look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a savory cup of hot chocolate, a refreshing cold beverage, or perhaps maybe a nice, tasty, sweet treat. Either way, we're going to be grateful. Those pennies and dollars, we'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, inspirational, fueled content to empower your life if you really want to. And remember, the difference between you becoming more successful than you already are is making the choice right now to get your life in balance. There's a lot of pieces to balance, but everything in your life should be balanced. Start balancing one part of your life, and you'll start to see that other things balance in your life really easily. Again, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you. If you're looking to be a guest on IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life, well, be sure to reach out to me and let me know why I should have you on as a guest. What value are you going to bring to Inspirations for Your Life? Again, we're going to be celebrating the show turning 1 year old in December. I can't wait. This is like an amazing thing for me. And I hope you guys are all going to be around. I hope if you don't get a chance to watch tomorrow, the day before Thanksgiving, that you come back and you watch again, because we have to talk about balance on Wednesday, balance on Thursday, and balance on Friday. And when we get to Friday, We're going to talk about the imbalance that happens in our head when we feel like we're out of control. A lot of cool stuff. Stay tuned, and I'll see you tomorrow with another episode.